Now at 10, Crawford County Commissioners hear from community members about school mask rules. And the search for the missing Welch, Oklahoma girls continues.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Today's Crawford County Commissioners meeting was much livelier than usual because commissioners were hearing from the public about USD 250's new policy concerning masks in the classroom. Last week, the USD 250 school board announced that masks in class are going to be optional if Crawford County meets certain health requirements related to COVID-19. While some people at Friday's County Commissioners meeting supported the new policy, many parents in attendance felt that student mask wearing should be 100% their choice.
Let's sacrifice for the common good for a little while. And if we do, we'll all come out better on the other side.
People have come forward and told you that their children were suffering. And I ask you to really believe them.
The KDHE and CDC are pushing junk science to gain compliance that buttresses their argument.
Crawford County Commissioner Jeremy Johnson says he understands parents' concerns and got the impression many of them are worried school mask mandates are going to be always present in Crawford County. But he says recent data concerning the coronavirus in Crawford County doesn't back up those fears. Doug Heddy joins us now. Nice, mild night out there.
Yeah, not bad at all. After a hot day for us today, temperatures all the way up into the upper 80s for highs. 87 started at 63, normal high 74, only 6 degrees shy of the record high set way back 1979. And looks like we should at least tie a record high for us tomorrow as we get even hotter. Nothing going on outside. We look good. We have pretty much clear skies. It's going to be nice and calm for us tonight. Next storm system is building out to the west. Temperatures still very comfortable, low to mid 70s. I think most of us will drop back near 70 a little bit later on tonight, but these winds will actually keep our temperatures up. A south wind throughout the overnight hours. 71, 80 by 10, 90 by noon. 93 during the afternoon. We do have some thunderstorms in the forecast that could be severe. We're going to look at that here in just a bit.
All right, Doug, thanks so much. A Monette, Missouri man is dead after a crash near Goodman. Missouri State Highway Patrol says Brandon Wellbaum was driving down Route C when he ran off the road and his car flipped. Wellbaum passed away at the scene. Investigators this morning continued the search for 2 girls who went missing from Welch, Oklahoma back in 1999. Authorities believe Ashley Freeman and Lower Bible were kidnapped and murdered, but their bodies have never been found. Today, investigators searched the property at 627 South Ottawa Street in Pitcher. That's based on interviews with Ronnie Busick, who's in prison for his role in the case.
The person everybody wants me to be now will be there that day. She's there, but for me right now, my main focus is to find them. And once I find them, I'm not going to have to search anymore. Then, you know, the loss and stuff, it'll be there.
Investigators did not find anything today, but plan to keep looking as new leads come up. Springfield, Missouri police have a suspect in custody, this after a stabbing at Mercy Hospital. Early this morning, Mercy Springfield tweeted that there had been an incident at the hospital's surgery center, then later tweeted that the entire hospital was under lockdown. It was later revealed that the lockdown was because of a stabbing in the hospital. The woman who was stabbed works at Mercy, and authorities say knew her attacker. The victim had what police referred to as non-life-threatening injuries. The suspect was arrested just before noon. Change is coming to the way Joplin Globe subscribers receive their paper. The Globe today announced subscribers are going to be getting their paper by mail instead of through contracted carriers. They'll still get their paper the same day, but this will change when they get the paper in the day.
One thing we're trying to emphasize is that people are still going to get their papers the same day. It depends on when your mail gets there as to what time you'll get it, but it's still going to be same day delivery, the same newspaper, same price, all the same content.
By the way, the change begins November 2nd. Across the country, Americans are uniting to thank and honor Vietnam War veterans and their families for their service. Right here in the 4 states, that happens today at Carthage City Park. The Army Security Agency hosted the event that honored the veterans along with Vietnam War POWs.
We try to coordinate these visits around the greater Midwest in an effort to get more veterans to come out, particularly ASA veterans, Army Security Agency guys, because we were kind of unknown during the Vietnam War. But we had a peak of a little over 6,000 boots on the ground in country. We never wore our patch, we never wore our brass.
Veterans today were presented with the Vietnam Veteran Pin, a lasting memento of the nation's thanks. That is a look at our top stories and weather in the first 7 minutes of KOAM News at 10. Still ahead, the Biden administration says it's going to give the January 6th Select Committee access to a trove of federal records connected to the Trump White House and the January 6th riot at the Capitol. The White House says it's not going to block Congress from obtaining documents dating to the Trump presidency related to the January 6th Capitol attack. Skylar Henry reports on the developments from Washington.
President Biden will allow Congress to obtain records from the Trump presidency as the Select House Committee investigates the January 6th insurrection. Former President Trump had asserted executive privilege over nearly 50 documents.
The president has determined that an assertion of executive privilege is not warranted for the first set of documents from the Trump White House that have been provided to us by the National Archives.
The committee has subpoenaed high-ranking Trump administration officials. His legal team instructs them not to produce documents or testimony, citing executive and other privileges. Lawmakers say former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows is engaging with the committee, but lawyers for former White House advisor Steve Bannon say he will not comply with his subpoena. The White House says President Biden will consider future assertions of executive privilege on a case-by-case basis as the committee moves forward with its investigation.
He believes it to be of the utmost importance for both Congress and the American people to have a complete understanding of the events of that day to prevent them from happening again.
Former President Trump released a statement saying Democrats are drunk on power. He's expected to head to court to further fight the investigation. The committee's subpoenas had set interviews for next week. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Washington.
The committee hopes to produce a report next year. Doug will be right back with a complete look at the forecast, but first we take time to honor a local veteran. Private First Class Norman Ritz served in the U.S. Army. His hometown, Parsons, Kansas, and we are proud to salute Private First Class Norman Ritz. He's tonight's four-state hero. To learn more about all of our four-state heroes, or if you'd like to submit your own, please do. You can visit our website. See it right there, KOAMnewsnow.com.
Well, it turned out to be a nice Friday for us today, just a little bit on the hot side as temperatures all the way into the upper 80s for afternoon highs, even hotter for us as we go into the weekend. Nice live shot, Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, parking lot nice and full on a Friday night. Looks pretty good. Might as well enjoy it. Temperatures mainly into low to mid 70s at this point in time. We're just not going to drop off too much more tonight because we have southerly winds, which are going to keep our temperatures up. They have diminished a little bit from what they were at earlier today, but they'll bump right back up once again for us tomorrow. 74 south winds at 10, humidity is at 64%. I think most of us will drop back 70-ish or so later on tonight, but nothing's going on here. We have clear skies, really nothing going on across the entire Central Plains. So let's go west. Here's an area of high pressure. Here's a ridge of high pressure. This is keeping us dry and hot. Once you pass the ridge and you get out into the western third of the country, here's a trough, and that's an area of low pressure, and that is our next storm system, which will start to affect us Sunday night. Until then, we'll stay dry. We are going to get some clouds in here later on tonight. Partly sunny skies tomorrow, quick warm up, near 90 by noon. I think most of us will top out into lower 90s, 92, 93 degrees. It's going to be windy again. We'll have the south winds at about 5 to 15 during the afternoon hours. But we're going to be dry. Tomorrow evening looks good if you want to get outside, do some outdoor activities. Then as we head into Sunday, still windy, still warm. Upper 80s, 4 highs. I'm going to stop at 3:30. Scattered thunderstorms out across central Kansas. We stay dry through the day. It's mid to late evening, thunderstorms really explode. So if you're traveling north to Kansas City, the Chiefs game, it's a 7:20 kick. The second half of that game could get a little wet, so we're going to watch that. All these storms that develop, some of these are going to be strong, possibly severe. If we have anything strong or severe, which is most likely we will, the main threat here is hail and wind. Not really a tornado threat. I think that stays farther south. Heavy amounts of rain through the night into Monday morning and then we'll start to dry out just a little bit. But then we have another storm system right behind it that will start to affect us on Tuesday with another severe threat. So it gets pretty active next week. All right, 93 tomorrow, 87 on Sunday. Nice weekend, just a hot weekend. Temperatures cool back down a little bit next week, but the rain works in, which we could use by now.
Yeah, you stole my words. It's going to be hot, but it's going to be nice.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, Doug, thank you. U.S. Mint has announced the full list of 5 pioneering American women who will be immortalized on American currency. In the first run of the American Women Quarters program, images of the women will appear on the backs of select quarters beginning in 2022. They represent a wide array of professions from which women were previously shut out. Sally Ride, an astronaut who was the first American woman in space. Poet and civil rights activist Maya Angelou were selected earlier this year. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen chose the rest of the honorees with input from the public. Asian American actress Anna Mae Wong, Cherokee Nation leader Wilma Mankiller, and suffragette and politician Nina Otero Warren will join Ride and Angelou in being featured on the coins. George Washington's facade will remain on the heads side of the coins. The U.S. Mint program will continue until 2025, honoring 5 women with 5 quarters each year. Doug and I are getting out of here so we can turn it over to Danny and Jacob. Friday night football action straight ahead.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into Week 7 of 4-State Friday Night. I'm KOAM Sports Director Jacob Leonard. Now, it should come as no surprise where we're starting tonight's show. The Joplin Eagles are at home this evening against Carthage in a battle of the final 2 unbeaten teams in the COC. Now, both teams are 6-0 through the first 6 weeks of the season. The winner tonight, all alone on top of the COC league standings. So, let's get to it. Tigers score a couple times in the first, just their second play from scrimmage. Luke Gall breaks away for a 58-yard score to put him up 7. Later in the quarter, Caden Cabance keeps it, pushes in from 2 yards away. Carthage takes a 14-0 lead after 1. Now early second, more from the Tigers, getting a little tricky. The reverse goes to Cale Patrick. He weaves in and out of defenders, eventually finishes the 69-yard touchdown run. It's now 21-0. Joplin tries to get something going here. 4th and 20 from the 25. Just a great throw from always right to Bruce Wilbert. That's a first down. Drew Van Gilder caps the drive with a 3-yard touchdown. Eagles on the board. A quick response from Carthage. It's Luke Gall again on the receiving end, this time from Cabance down the sideline. Nobody catches him. 66-yard score. Tigers go back up by 20. They try to add more right before halftime, but Luke Wieselmeyer grabs the interception for Joplin. Carthage goes to half up 27-7. Now Joplin chips away late, but the Tigers grab first place in the COC, winning 34-22. Another big one here in the COC, Webb City on the road against Nixa, aiming for their 3rd straight win. Nixa, though, too good this evening. The Eagles hold off the Cardinals 41-27. The Carl Junction Bulldogs are sitting in an even 500 through the first 6 weeks of the season. The Bulldogs try to make it back-to-back wins tonight, hitting the road to face Republic. Republic, big night. Tigers beat the Bulldogs 37-3. Carl Junction will be back home next week with a big one against Nixa. In the Big 8 tonight, the Seneca Indians are at home hosting the Cassville Wildcats. After a 3-1 start to the season, the Indians have dropped back-to-back games and enter the night with a 3-3 overall record. Seneca aims to get back over 500 tonight, while the Wildcats try to get back-to-back wins for the first time this season. Seneca up 6 after a long, methodical scoring drive on the opening kick. Second drive of the game for Seneca, Jackson Graham takes the pitch all the way to the house for the 56-yard score. Seneca gets the lead to 12-0. The late second quarter now, Cassville QB Cutter Hicks throwing off his back foot into some coverage, picked off by senior Dane Napier. Takes it back to the Cassville 25. That would set up the Indians nicely for this. Just 2 plays later, Ethan Fritchie drops back, finds Connor Ackerson. He pulls it down for the 22-yard contested touchdown grab. Seneca pitches the shutout in this one. Final score 27-0. Staying in the Big 8, the Lamar Tigers try to stay undefeated on the road against Monette. Tigers roll by the Cubs tonight 52-21. Lamar pushes its winning streak to 18 games with this win. Tigers will host Seneca, looking to start 8-0 next Friday. On the Kansas side, the GIRARD Trojans, been one of the best stories in the area this season. GIRARD 5-0 to start the year. They try to get to 6-0 on the road against Burlington. They get it done in a shutout, 28-0. Now next week for GIRARD, they'll be at home with another district game against Iola before a huge one to close out the regular season, hosting Frontenac on October 22nd. In 3A District 1 in Kansas, the Galena Bulldogs hit the road tonight against Columbus. Now, Galena is coming off its biggest win of the season, handing Caney Valley its first loss of the year last week to get to 4-1 on the year. Now, on the other side, Columbus 3-2, looking for a 3-0 start to district play. Minute left in the first half, Brett Sarwinski airs it out to Zane Turner. Already got his man beat, 69-yard touchdown. That extends the Bulldogs' already big lead to 38-7. Third quarter now, Caden Cox snags this one for the interception. The Titans would turn that into some points. Gabe Martin, you know he's been in the weight room, all right? Nobody bringing him down there. Makes it 38-13. Now the Bulldogs and Turner, not going to be stopped today though. He breaks free for the 31-yard score. Martin matches it on the other end. Take a turn at a big run, weaves through the Bulldogs into the end zone. Not enough though, Galena gets the big road win, 50-28. The Pittsburgh Purple Dragons, coming off back-to-back wins, try to make it 3 in a row on the road against Lansing. Pittsburgh gets it done big, 31-14. The Purple Dragons have 2 home games to finish the regular season, beginning next week against KC Wyandotte. Now we're at our one and only stop here on 4 State Friday night. When we come back, the Nevada Tigers try to stay hot at East Newton, while McDonald County tries to do the same against Reed Spring. We'll have those highlights and more after this. The Nevada Tigers are one of the hottest and highest scoring teams in Southwest Missouri. The Tigers are 5-1 to start the season, and they scored 50 or more points in 4 of their 6 games. And Nevada on 50 watch again on the road against the East Newton Patriots this evening. 4th play of the game here, Ty Bowman drops back to throw. Case Sanderson, though, gets the interception. Takes it back 50 yards to the house. Tigers on the board quickly, makes it 6-0. Then second drive of the game, Nevada gets another pick. This one from Case and Clark. Tigers take over possession. Now check this play out. Cade Beshore scrambles out of the pocket, jukes his defender right out of his shoes. Fires it for a 20-yard pickup there. Tigers convert on the drive. Handoff goes to Avia Stedman, who punches it in. Tigers up 14-0. Then to start the second quarter, Nevada gives this one to Jordan Johnson. Barrels his way in for the touchdown. Tigers take this one in the end big, 46-6. The Aurora Hound Dogs, they've been really good lately, making Billy Leonard proud. That's my dad. Aurora 5-1 coming into the night, winning 5 straight. Tonight the Hound Dogs make it 6 in a row, beating Marshfield 30-19. Aurora hits the road to Reed Spring next week. Well, McDonald County is also 5-1 in the Big 8 coming into the night. The Mustangs have won 3 in a row, and they've been great on defense, giving up just 10 per game over that span. And McDonald County looks to stay rolling tonight with a home game against Reed Spring. First quarter, the reverse pass for Reeds. Blandy Burrell on the receiving end for the touchdown. Wolves go up 6-0. The Mustangs respond with a play on defense here. Cole Martin steps in for the interception. He'll return it all the way for the score. Home team gets the PAT to go up 1. Then Mustangs pull away. Martin finds Jack Parnell for the score. That gets their lead to 14-6. Another passing touchdown here. Martin going to Levi Malone. This time gets by 1 guy and in for the score. All Mustangs tonight, they get to 6-1, winning 41-6. Big opportunity tonight for the Sarcoxy Bears. 5-1 Bears try to hand the Marionville Comets their first loss of the year. Sarcoxy, though, not able to make it happen, falling to Marionville 62-24. The Bears hit the road next week to face Diamond. The Labette County Grizzlies are on the road tonight for an SEK matchup against Field Kinley. Now, both of these teams have been a little slow out of the gate this season, with both of them coming into the night winless. Now that's the bad news. The good news, one of them going to walk out of here happy for the first time this season. Defense strong on both sides tonight. Zach Becker wants the touchdown pass, but Andon Searles Picks him off in the end zone for the Grizzlies. Later, Coffeyville with the ball again. Not for long. Ball comes loose. John Broadwell recovers. Labette takes over possession. Now Grizzlies deep in their own territory here. Kendall Holtzman drops back. Coffeyville swarms, taken down in the end zone for the safety. That's the first points of the game. 2-0 Coffeyville. Later in the second quarter, Coffeyville gets the interception. Now it's Ethan Veets going the other way. That gets the lead to 8-0. Coffeyville finishes this one off. Their first win, 22-6. And that's all the time we got here tonight. Be sure to switch over to our sister station, Fox 14, at 11 o'clock for Press Box. That show is 30 minutes, nothing but football. We'll have even more high school football highlights and scores from all across the area. For now, though, we got to get out of here. Thanks for staying up with us. See you right back here next Friday.